Hi everyone, I welcome you all to this lecture series on Python for data science. Here first up we are going to look into the introduction to Python for data science. Then we'll be studying about mainly the introduction to Python. Then we will be following it up with the Spider software, how we can actually use Spider for data science, and then we'll be looking into the two of the most important aspects or two of the most important topics in the Python, that is variables and operators. So that will be all for the first lecture series on Python for data science. So let us now start with the introduction part. So first we need to know what are the tools that are used in data science. So if you really want to know what are the tools that are used for data science, it is very important that you know what are the different stages or different processes involved in the data science. So the first stage is the pre-processing and analysis of a data. So it is basically divided into three stages mainly. So the first stage is that you have a lot of raw data, so you need to do some pre-processing and analysis of those data. Now the tools that are used mainly for these things are Python, R and Microsoft Excel. Then comes the exploration and visualization. Means once you are done with the analysis and the pre-processing of a data, you're going to present that data in a form of a visualization, and you do further exploration into that particular data to get some insights into it. Now for that you're mainly using Tableau, okay, and then Quick View, and then you're going to use Microsoft Excel. Finally, once you're done with that, if you have some parallel or distributed computing, in case of big data, there you use one of the two of the most important software, that is Apache Spark and Apache Hadoop. Now these are some of the tools that are used in normally data science, but mainly or the major part of the work that is being done is in the area of pre-processing and analysis. Now that is where Python, R and Microsoft Excel come into picture, and here we are going to see how well we can actually pre-process and analyze a particular data. Now what is actually data science? What do you mean by data science? So basically a data science is nothing but you have a bunch or random raw data which is not ordered, okay, and which is normally having lot of duplicacy in it, and it is not properly arranged and it is completely raw. Now the science behind analyzing this raw data using statistics and machine learning techniques, and finally once you analyze this, once you process this using these statistics and machine learning techniques, and then if you are able to get some insights from that particular data, then that is actually data science. And mainly it is made used in the industries for making a better judgment, okay, and to test a certain model or a theory, you normally use these techniques in the field of data science. And mainly what are the processes that are actually involved in this method of finally getting an insight into a data. So first is normally inspecting and cleaning the data. First, once the data you have received, you have to actually inspect that data, what type of data it is, okay. So that is the first thing. Then you clean the data, like you arrange it, you make it in a proper order, you remove the duplicates, and then you transform the data. Then a proper modeling is done, and then again the analysis of the data is done based on various parameters on which you are actually working. And then finally once you're done with that, you start making interpretation on that raw data on which you have been working till now. So all these three things put together is basically data science, is basically the field of data science, which is very much in demand now and is going to be in a huge demand in future also. And now what is the data perspective. Okay, so first thing means what are the processes involved, like we discussed in the last slide as well. Now this is a main representation of that. So first you read the data. Okay, well, once the data is received, you go through the data. Then what you do, you process the data and clean it. Okay, then once you're done with that, you summarize. You start summarizing the data, means you start grouping the data based on the different parameters that are there in the data. Okay, then you do a visualization. Okay, then after that you derive insights from the data, and then finally you go for a presentation. Now for this, if you want, we can take an example of a results of a particular class. Now what happens is, we get the results of a particular class. Now after that we will go through the results. Then what we do, we start processing and cleaning the data. Now what is this processing and cleaning the data with respect to results? What we will do is, we will segregate the results. Okay, now like, okay, first we will go as per the SRN number. Okay, then what will we do, we will we will arrange it from highest to lowest. Okay, then we start summarizing the data, who has scored highest in this particular subject, who has failed in a particular subject. So that summarizing of the data happens. Then visualization, we start plotting the graphs and everything. Then we derive the insight from that visualization. Okay, so these many students have scored highest marks in this particular subject, so these many students scored below average marks. Okay, so these are the insights we get from that particular data, and then finally we go for a presentation. Now these are the different stages that are involved in the data science, to put it in a very simple way. And how we can make use of Python for actually data science. Okay, now why Python is more and more preferred for data science? See, the thing is, the libraries that are there in Python, actually they provide key features for data science. Then the manipulation and processing of any particular data happens in a much better way and much robust way using Pythons. For example, if we take pandas, which is one of the libraries or the modules in the Python, they have features for data wrangling and manipulations. Okay, and then finally data summary and visualization can be done using Python. And normally there are libraries in the machine learning, libraries like scikit, which helps in developing, or which helps in working with the machine learning algorithm. Now these are some of the factors which actually make Python a definite choice for the people working on data science. And now coming back to the what are the advantages of using Python. So as I said, there are several features that make it well suited for data. First of all, it is open source and a community development is there. Okay, developed under the open source initiative license, making it free to use. Okay, like anyone can actually use it. Okay, and it is fully free. It is an open source, and whatever syntax that is used is very simple to understand and coding. See, when the coding becomes very much easy, that is when you actually work more and more, and that is what actually Python brings with it. The coding is very much easy, and the syntax that actually you use in Python are way much easier compared to the other programming languages. Okay, libraries that are designed for specific data science tasks. There are various libraries like matplotlib is there, and then recently in the last slide we also saw pandas. Now these are specifically designed for normally data science. NumPy is there. Okay, it is also mainly designed for data science. Now because of these different types of libraries and integration with Python, it makes a first choice for any person working in data science to go with Python. It combines well with majority of the cloud platform services providers, so that is how you can back up your data. Now these are some of the advantages that makes one actually go with the Python. Okay, now this was actually an introduction into the data science using Python, and now in the next lecture we will see what is actually Python and how Python is very much beneficial for us. Okay,